Hey guys, welcome back to JR14. Here we are with another video, but today's video is the start of something new I'm starting on a channel called JR14 Car Talks, where I get other car enthusiasts to have a conversation with about various topics about the automotive industry and just automotive cars and just everything automotive related in general. So today we're actually going to talk to I'm at European Auto, and today we're going to be talking to Gio. So without further ado, let's get started with the video right now.
You can tell you watch a lot of porn.
Who got Cheerios? Those are mine.
You and these Cheerios, bro, my God.
Okay, we gotta order up single taquito right here. Gotta order up 5-pack taquitos.
These are a must when you're doing things like, you know.
Oh yeah.
Wasting that much money.
Don't drink and drive.
Is this how the video's gonna start, of us eating taquitos?
You're comfortable now, you're happy.
I was hungry. That's what was making me uncomfortable.
What was your first car?
My first car that I ever drove, English. My first car that I ever drove, or my first car that I ever owned?
I'm sorry, first
Two different
car.
cars.
Let's do both. First car that you ever driven.
First car that I've ever driven that I've owned was my 1995 Subaru Impreza, front-wheel drive automatic.
He was a Subaru guy.
I was a Subaru guy.
Converted to all-wheel drive.
I did.
It went through a whole bunch of phases.
It did.
It went through the 2000s phases, the fucking 2010s.
Yeah.
What is this?
Fast car phase. Yo.
It was it's a 95 Subaru Impreza that I was given when I was 16. It was front-wheel drive, it was automatic.
Okay.
Tan interior and Caribbean green paint. It was
Caribbean green.
Yeah, it was probably the ugliest thing you've ever seen in your life. So, I bought an 02 WRX that was T-boned. And I spent an entire night, I think it was by myself the first night, I was stripping the car. Pulled the motor, pulled the trans, pulled the interior, dash, rear subframe, drive shaft, everything, full suspension.
Right.
And the next night I put my car in my buddy's driveway and did the same thing. Took everything off, and then we swapped everything over. So it basically became an all-wheel drive, 5-speed, 2.0 turbo, 95 Impreza.
Okay.
Everything bolts up. Yeah.
So you were 16. So were you like always a car guy, or were you just something that like came upon you?
His father was a mechanic.
My father was a mechanic. Red Bull should sponsor us too. We drink enough of that shit.
I'll wrap my car in a Red Bull F1 cup.
Me too.
Huh.
Give me a call. 516-444-6838.
There you go. I don't know. I mean, like, so that was your first car. You learned pretty much everything through your dad.
Yeah, my father was a mechanic. So I've been around cars since I was a kid.
Right. So, bro, man, as you know, I did my YouTube series and everything else on the engine rebuild. I'm kind of running out of content on I'm
Let's
good.
break something else. What the hell?
It's always so much that you could break till you start becoming repetitive.
No, you can blow the trans.
Oh my God.
This is the point where you say, well, now I need more content, so I'm going to sell the car and buy another.
I'm not gonna sell it. Reason why I never sell it. No one will give me the amount of money of what I think this is worth. If someone said I'll give you $30,000 for this GTI right now, I'll sell it. Wait. $30,000 will be my price. Why? Got $19,000 of mods in it. It's got another set, as we watched in the previous video, of the whole engine rebuild series costing 17 grand to do. $30,000. That's what the car's worth. So, I mean,
Bad considering they're going for like 20,000 right now.
they're going for 20. Yeah, if you wanted an SE and you wanted a 17, they go for like, for a high mileage one, 18. For a low mileage one, like 30, 40,000 miles, you're probably looking at about 22. Now you got a fully built one with an upgraded turbo, everything that you never imagined ever wanted to do with it. But what I'm saying is that running out of content on this car. I could break it again. But eventually I'm gonna have to get something else. But my thing is that I only have, if I did this, it would be something of a budget build where I can still have fun. I can still enjoy the car. I can't say it won't leave me stranded somewhere. But and you're a car guy, I'm a car guy. I'm knowledgeable about some things, but I'm not knowledgeable about a lot. But because I got into the car game a lot later. You've been in the car game all your life. So you're 16 years old taking stuff apart. I didn't start touching stuff myself until I got this. So, I'm out of curiosity with you. I'm just curious. So, let's just say my budget is like, I don't know, anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000, right? What?
10 to 12,000 total to spend on the car, or total to spend on the car and mods? Because whatever you're gonna buy, you're
Right.
gonna modify it.
Right, of course. Yes.
So,
I would probably say that's a good question. I'll probably say something like with mods. I'm not gonna lie to myself.
So figure 10 grand, $10 to $12,000 you have in the bank that you're ready to say, all right, cool, I'm gonna go buy a car and I'm gonna do a couple things to make it me.
Correct.
Okay. It does sound like a Mark IV GTI, actually. That's exactly where I was going too.
Okay.
The Mark IV GTI platform is just, it has everything. It's
Okay.
cheap.
Okay.
It's DIY friendly.
That's true.
It's
Calvin.
Calvin.
That car put a fear in me though. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
With
it.
this car.
You can modify the car for little to nothing.
Really.
Just, as far as to make it an enjoyable car, you could probably pick up a very decent, well-maintained, clean one for what are they gonna put like $4 grand? Yeah, maybe $3 to $4 grand, I would say.
Yeah.
If you pick one up for $3 to $4 grand and you're DIY, you can do full exhaust, stage 2 to intake.
Yeah.
And that's a really fun car at that point. Well, you gotta consider you gotta have to clutch.
Volkswagen stock clutches don't like anything above stock power. Which is a common statement.
This one took a beating on the stock clutch.
Yeah.
Stage 2 plus,
For a while.
10,000 miles. It finally gave out.
Give out meaning that it's slipping. It's not.
Well,
like,
no, I can still drive
So
the
you
car.
can still drive it,
Yeah, it's
okay.
gotta stay at a boost. As soon as it makes over like 3 or 4 pounds, it's just this RPM just shoot up.
Okay. Okay, so you saying Mark IV?
I would say Mark IV.
Okay.
The thing is, they're getting very old now. Like 2010. And it was an 04 GTI with a 1.8. So that car was 6 years old at the time. So it wasn't that old.
Right.
It's basically like this is to me right now. This is 7 years old to me. It's a 13.
Okay.
So, other than if you want to go a different direction other than Volkswagen, well, there's more Volkswagens you can get for that.
What about, would you recommend, okay, sticking with the Mark IV for a second, do you think it would be wise to get maybe a Mark IV VR6?
No. 1.8.
No.
1.8 over the VR6.
Of course for performance
No,
potential.
because
It's gonna be easier to make power.
not only that, but as far as reliability goes, the VR had its, well, VRs are awesome, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I love the Wookiee noises.
No, they're amazing.
Wow.
No, they're amazing. But they do have timing issues.
Oh.
They do have, well, then again, every Volkswagen has electrical issues. But
Except Mark 7s, because I've not had an issue with electrical
not
in
yet,
my
it's
car
still
yet.
kind of new.
My sister had issues with her Mark 7.
Oh man, don't do that to me, man. Don't break my heart.
The Mark 7.5 actually
Really?
Mark 7.5?
had radio issues.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I do have radio issues. I do have radio issues. Sometimes like Apple CarPlay just won't link up, even though you
Nah,
have to.
that's everything with Apple CarPlay.
Oh my god, it
She
sucks.
also had issues with the Mark 7, not the 7.5, but
Oh, yeah, it's just had a Mark 7 and a 7.5.
Right.
It still has a 7.5, right?
Yeah. To fix the the mirrors. She couldn't get into them. Like her husband or her boyfriend would drive the car, and then she would get in it, and she couldn't fix the mirrors or anything. So it's like. Yeah.
That's weird. I watched the film, looked at the films a lot. I've never heard of anything like that.
Yo, how many comments you think you're gonna get about me eating a hot dog with a fork and not a bun?
Hey, YouTube is the place to judge. So you just never know. Stay away. If I do Mark 4
You don't have to
1.8,
stay away from VR6s,
but it's just gonna break.
but you just have to understand that the VR6 in general is a beautiful motor. Sounds amazing. As soon as you slap a turbo on it, I mean, you can make real power.
It's really compact.
It is very compact. So they're still user friendly, but not as much as the 1.8s.
Right.
The 1.8s, because the thing is, I feel like a lot of people nowadays, and I don't blame them, they want to work on their own cars. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's obviously there's a level to where you can work on your car to. Like, yeah, I can install coilovers, or do my brakes and my rotors, or install the downpipe, an intake, stuff like that, front mount intercooler, things like that people can do in their driveways.
Okay.
But, you know, there's a level to it. When you start needing clutch and you start timing belt, maybe you're not comfortable with timing and stuff like that. But that's another thing on the Mark 4 1.8s is you have a timing belt that you have to do every 70,000 miles. So,
I mean, for a project car, you're not gonna be driving it 70,000. Depending
well,
on
no, but when you purchase the car, you don't know if the last guy did it.
Done.
You can't believe them if they say they did it. Most
Right.
people say they do it just to sell the car, and then you end up with a car that has a 15-year-old belt in it plus, and
Yeah.
well, you know what happens then, right?
Boom. Okay. All right. So, Mark 4 GTI or Jetta.
Or GLI, but GLI.
Oh, GLI. I like the Mark 4
GLIs
GLI.
are starting to climb up in price for whatever reason.
I mean, it's like
Yeah, I noticed the other day there was one for sale, the Mark 4 GLI, clean car, like 80 or 90,000 miles. I think they wanted like 6,800. I mean, and that wowed me a little bit because I was like,
I'm surprised.
yeah, it's
How many miles were on it?
That I was looking
about
at.
90K, I think it was.
That's why.
There was one that I was looking at the other week that was for sale, and the car was barely running, and they wanted about $5,000.
I mean, they are rare.
Car seats. I've always loved the Mark 4 GLI. I think, in my opinion, since I have a Mark 7 hatch already, if I did a Mark 4, I would definitely do like a Mark 4 GLI, have a nice sedan, because that body style, in my opinion, is timeless.
I love those cars.
I love the way it
I
looks.
really wanted to have that.
I mean, you could get
I
a
was just afraid of electrical issues.
You could get a Jetta wagon with a 1.8 in it. I mean, that's what I would do. But I like wagons, so.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, all right. Let's skip away from Volkswagen for a second. So, okay, if I have 10 to 12,000.
10 to 12,000 away from Volkswagen. I would say,
I know he's gonna say that.
you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
E90 335.
I knew it. Wait, what? Wait, which one?
E90 335?
I'm scared of the
There's no money for
54s.
upgrades there.
So what? The car's fun right out the
I mean,
box.
technically, you could buy JB4 and you'd be straight.
Yeah, but the car's fun out the box. You could hop in like an 08 or an 09.
All right.
So,
So you said Mark 4. If I do a Mark 4, you would recommend a 1.8T.
100%.
100% a 1.8T. Okay.
There you go.
After literally torching an engine completely with a blowtorch for the past half an hour, Felipe finally got the part he needed to get off. Don't worry, when that car is done and up and running, we're gonna do a review on it, so stay tuned.
So,
All right, Mark 4 1.8T.
Mark 4 1.8.
Now we're getting into
a different level of Volkswagen. Well, we said also GLI.
yes, it's Mark 4 GLI.
So I guess we got two now.
Got two down.
So I would say E90 335
E90 35.
or E92.
E92 is the coupe.
The two door.
E90 is the four door.
I don't suggest an E93, which is the vert.
Absolutely.
Stay away from that.
Unless you want to go to California, Florida.
Yeah, we live in New York, so we're gonna stick to 90s and 92s.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean you could pick up a decent, pretty well maintained stock 335 6-speed or auto for a little under 10. So you won't have much for mods, But you could technically just throw an intake on it and MHD tune at stage 1. And
Put the mufflers off.
I mean, yeah, do a muffler delete and have fun.
Okay.
There's a few things you got to be wary of, like, you know, oil pan gasket leaks, oil filter housing gasket leaks,
Turbos.
failing, valve cover gasket leaks, valve cover assemblies going back. Should we keep? That's probably not a good idea. I don't know. We're just over here. I just named about, I don't know, $4,000 in things you got to be wary of.
You're just being honest. I'm like, I mean, because I don't get me wrong, I definitely really do love the E90s. I love the 335. I love the N54, N55 motors.
There's gotta be a facelift though.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily have to be.
For the E90s,
They're not that ugly. I kind of.
the rear is kind of those tail
I like the newer E90 tails.
Yeah. So you like.
My roommate had a 328.
You like the LCIs.
Yeah.
Most people like the LCI of any BMW.
LCI.
Life choice something or life something.
That's a
something
thing?
increase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, you're
basically-
teaching me stuff. I
It's
don't know.
like Koki and Zeki.
Yeah.
Koki and Zeki. It's like
240s.
facelift.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
for example, just to give you an idea, there's E30s have 2 models. They have an early model and a late model. This is, huh?
There's the between.
It's only 1 year and it's kind of, it doesn't really, they didn't even make that many of them. That's actually pretty good. But, anyway, even back then BMW did, well, you would consider now, which is what's called LCI. This would be the LCI model of the E30s because it's an updated front end, updated rear end. The interior is more or less exactly the same.
I would just consider this car uglier in general than SCI.
Well-
It's so much prettier.
I mean,
So what is
Yes.
it? So the CI versus a regular one.
LCI
LCI.
versus the regular. There is no difference as far as, most of the time there is no difference as far as performance goes or drivability.
Okay.
Most of the time it's just features and looks.
Features in this.
Yeah, it's like
Like the
just-
newer
just to-
AMG appearance package on
Just
this
to
car.
give you an idea that everybody's gonna understand, it's an iPhone 6 and an iPhone 6S. That's what it is.
Okay.
So that's an iPhone 6. That is an iPhone 6S.
No. iPhone 7, iPhone 8. This is a different year.
So iPhone 7, iPhone 8.
We get it. Okay.
All right,
So
so-
pretty much 2 phones that look identical.
That do the same thing.
That do the same thing but look different, but just small characteristic
Yes.
aesthetic changes.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
That's basically what it is.
So basically, like Junior, if Junior who has a, I don't even know what that car is anymore.
The car doesn't know what it is anymore.
The car doesn't know what it is anymore. Like a normal C300 versus a C300 Sport appearance package AMG.
Did it break or did it come out? So yeah, so back to that, honestly. 335, definitely. I mean, they're fun right out the box, but for $10,000 to $12,000, you can pick one up. I mean, for the right price, probably get one for around $7,000. And then that leaves you a good $5,000 to play with, really.
And this is for
I
what
mean,
car?
the E90 or E92.
E92.
The
$5,000
chances are, if you're gonna pick up an E92 and get a 6-speed, you're gonna be closer to that $10,000 number.
That's what I would want.
You know,
I wouldn't
which
mind
is
a
what
photo
most
in a
people
manual.
want. I mean, you can.
I had a photo because they were rare.
We actually had a good friend of ours who had a E92 automatic with a big single turbo, and the car was killing it. I mean, killing it. So with the right modifications to the auto trans, you can really do some damage.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay.
Another one?
Yeah, like, okay, so I do like, I definitely, like I said, I love N54 and N55. I think 55 is a good selection, especially to get out of something like the stigma of this,
But
to
if
get into
you're-
another platform like that.
54 really holds power.
Going N55 though, you'd have to go to the last couple of years of the E90 body style.
Right, because they changed, they did that motor in the last.
Only in the last couple of years.
Right.
So you're gonna pay significantly more money for an N55 car versus an N54 car. So
I mean, like, good thing about I mean, specifically with BMWs, I mean, I've never really owned one, so I can't really experience it. But my mom had one chassis that I really do like. I do, even though I don't own a BMW, I do know my chassis. My mom had a 1998. No, wait, I was like 4. So that was 93, 94. She had one of those years, right? No, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 94 to 95, 328i. And because when she traded it in,
E36.
that's an E36 chassis. Okay, yeah. She had that car, and I've always, it's weird, always loved the way they sounded.
That's because the exhaust valves used to get stuck.
I mean, I don't know. She always leased her cars, but it was black on black. I was always fascinated by, you know how you like let the 60/40 split, the little square orange button in the back seat to let the rear seats down flat.
Was it a coupe or a 4-door?
It was a 4-door.
I've never had a 4-door.
Yeah.
E36 4-door.
I was when I was a kid because I was in the back seat. I always remember
Oh, I know what you're talking
the
about.
little orange little
Yeah.
button, and I was just like, I was always fascinated. My mom always told me because of like the red buttons. Like when I was at the dealership, my mom would like the salesman guy, and I didn't know what the button was. I said, "Ooh, I was in a Miata." It was a BMW dealership and a Miata and a Mazda dealership together. Weirdly enough, and I asked him. I was sitting in the Miata, the convertible, and the top was down, and it was in the showroom. And I asked him, "What's this button do?" He's like, "Don't push that." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Cause it's gonna make me shoot through the roof." It was the hazard buttons.
Wow. Gentlemen speaking in the background that they can't see.
Oh yeah. By the way, if you guys don't know, like, that's that's his cousin. So.
So we covered the Mark IV GTI 1.8.
Yep.
Covered the Mark IV GLI. Covered the E90 or E92, depending on your preference. You want a sedan or a coupe.
Okay.
These you could probably get for cheap.
Yeah, you could honestly, but the thing is,
They're not very
B5, B5,
if you have a
S4?
budget, if a B5 S4, if you have a budget of 10 to 12 grand, probably
There you go.
you're
Felipe Bill said
probably
no.
gonna spend 90 to 95% of that budget on the car and repairs
Rather than just-
before you can actually modify it. That's actually my old car.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about
Yeah.
that. You, like, a
I built that
customer.
car about a couple years ago, sold it to a client of mine.
I always admired them. I love exhaust noises. That's what really attracts me to cars.
Yeah, they
And
have a great note.
They do.
They do have a great note.
I think for my next car though, I definitely want a 6. And like I said, the E36 chassis is definitely something.
That's
So you
a
said-
great chassis.
I think so.
What you can do to those?
But here's the funny thing about it now. So Gio mentioned those cars, and I'm gonna mention the car that I think that I want to get for the budget. And that is an E36 chassis or something. Now the thing is, do I spend top dollar? And he made this point a while ago, but I want him to say it. Do I spend top dollar, the top of the budget, just get an M3 and not do mods to it?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
get a 328 and have money for a lot of mods.
No.
Depends what you're trying to do with the car.
No.
You want to do like a drift
No.
missile?
No.
I wouldn't want to destroy it and put it like a drift missile.
You're not gonna make a drift missile. We're talking about cars that. We're talking about cars that you can purchase for a $10,000 budget and be able to drive them. Someone. Who the fuck's gonna daily a drift missile?
There we
There's
go.
actually one in Greenwood.
I mean, then yeah, you would.
There's
You would.
actually one in
You are
Greenwood.
going to. So.
Until he drives it in the rain for the
There's
first
one
time.
in
Like, this is gonna be
Greenwood.
done.
Always park.
It's okay. It's only got 8 degrees of camber.
That's it.
It's only 8 degrees. It's fine. It's got 5, and I drive it in the snow. So. That's at 5. Very nice.
So you're saying? So,
So-
you're telling me I can get? So within that budget, I
I
can
would, with that budget, the thing is, the E36, you could pick up a 328 IS, a coupe, 5-speed, nice car. They're actually pretty fun cars to drive.
Yeah.
I mean, with like very like limited modifications, like for example, like an M3 diff to have LSD.
Yeah. Okay.
A big turbo kit, just a small big turbo kit.
There's so much more.
What does that mean?
It's
Small, big turbo
small
kit?
big turbo kit.
Small tip. Okay.
Small investment of a big turbo kit.
Small turbo kit that makes big explosions when stuff goes.
I mean, you can get like a Chinese noisemaker and bolt it onto some Chinesium exhaust manifold, and
It'll run. run.
Yeah, I mean, straight,
It'll
like,
run.
you can make
I
your
don't
own
know.
downpipe out the hood. And
I'm afraid if I get something old though, like a car wise, I'm gonna want to just do everything to bring it back up to pristine shape.
you'd never be able to do that with any 36. They're all too far gone. Unless you pay top dollar for an M3 that somebody loved. There
Even
is.
those are getting really
Listen.
expensive.
I don't mind.
They are going up in price.
If I could find one, I would really love a coupe. But finding a 4-door manual,
They're kind of rare actually.
they are very.
You're gonna
rare.
pay-
Manual sedans.
Manual
they're rare.
sedans and manual coupes, you're gonna pay the most money for.
Right.
But the sedan is even more rare than the coupe.
Yeah, but they range in about the same price. So yes, technically it is harder to find, but they do all range within the same.
Are you doing the front?
Don't touch my roadie forms. What are you touching? Oh, the Miller Lite.
Bringing it on this side, that way it's more
No,
convenient.
no, no. Can I get a beer too? What is this?
You're having a live interview, bro.
Yeah, I can't have a beer while I have a live interview. What is this?
I don't know, JR. Is it professional? Is YouTube
No, it's unprofessional. I'm sorry, unprofessional.
First of all,
Sorry.
let's put a disclaimer here. This is way after hours. We're Ubering home.
Listen, having him in frame is unprofessional.
Shit. Let's sorry. Let's stop. Let's try to not be unprofessional here.
Yeah, for once, because we're not humans, we're robots.
Yeah, we don't just like fix cars that are really broken and people are very happy or anything like that.
No.
We don't offer like
Who
top-notch
thinks of
customer
stupid
service
things?
or anything. Let's just get past that. So, where were we? Oh, E36s.
Yes, E36s.
Chinese noisemakers.
No,
Chinese
realistically, an E36, a 328 IS with an M3 diff, an intake, and just like an ECU chip, is a fun car. They do burnouts, which is very important in a daily driver.
I think
mind
so.
you guys.
I think so. If Mike's Accord can do a burnout, yeah.
Mike's Accord did a lot more than a burnout.
It lived.
It did.
It lived and it saw itself die.
It did.
At
It
the
didn't die
junkyard.
though. It didn't die.
It didn't die, but at the junkyard it got
Oh,
crushed.
thank
Yes, gotta be professional.
So E36 for under 10. I mean, that would be more of a conversation for I feel like cars under 5. So let's talk E36.
E36.
I feel like the regular like a 328 or 325 or 328 IS is whatever the case is. I feel like that's more of a conversation for cars under 5.
Junior!
Cars under $5 grand.
Hang on. Junior, hurry up. NASCAR. Get them all. You're not careful on other people's wheels.
Yeah, he is.
You see the time frame that he's taking in between?
He's always like that.
Is he?
Yeah. 'Cause he used to work at a tire shop. That's all he did was tire, and a reputable tire shop, which we won't mention. But
We can't.
he's great he's very careful with people's stuff.
That's true.
Which is what I like about him. But
Yeah, he's very careful with my friend Eric's car.
oh yeah, that's right. He did Eric's car
He
today.
did Eric's car today, and it
Yeah.
didn't blow up, so that's good.
So I feel like E36 sedans, coupes, whatever, anything other than M3 is more of a conversation for under $5 grand cars.
Okay.
I don't feel like it would be responsible to buy a $3,000 328 IS and dump, I don't know, $7 grand in it.
Hey,
Right,
that price
because you
is
could have bought like
crazy motor in
a
there.
well sorted or
yeah,
decently
but
sorted.
then now you're getting into, at that point, at $7,000, you've rebuilt the whole car, you've possibly swapped the motor or turboed it, but then now you're kind of totally gone from that, oh yeah, it could potentially be a daily kind of thing.
That is true.
That's totally out the
And
window at that
DIY
point.
is actually kind
And
of
DIY is out the window at that point too. So I think that's more of a $5,000 kind of car you can buy.
Okay.
I think when we stick to like the $10,000, $12,000 budget, I think I would say E36 sedan or coupe M3. Yes, you're gonna pay more than $6 for it if you're gonna buy a nice one.
I would like to buy a nice one and just.
I highly suggest buying a nice one. Their interiors are not very great. They're not very sturdy interiors.
Okay.
They don't hold up well.
Okay.
Door panels, seats, stuff like that.
Vader seats.
Yeah, well, that's only the coupe. So
Damn, it is only the coupe.
yeah, the sedans didn't come with Vaders.
I mean,
the
I know.
Verts.
See, I know a little bit about E36. Like my first experience with an M3, like on a daily basis. My friend Jeff in college had one, and
I can't get a break. Confiscated.
So you're saying that the E36 chassis with 325s and 328s, they're more of like a $5,000 bill.
Yeah, I would say it's more of a car you can get for $5,000.
Okay.
I would move on from BMW at that point because a neat 46, nothing's really fun unless it's a 330 ZHP or an M3, which isn't that easy to find, or an M3, which is well over $10,000.
It's in the 20s still.
No, you can get them in the mid-18s, high teens,
But the
but
taxes, 20,000.
yeah, take that into consideration as well. I kind of still veer back to Volkswagen. I mean, I've always been a BMW guy. I've had a lot of BMWs. I've had a lot of Volkswagens, a lot of Audis, but
Yeah.
I always veer back to Volkswagen when I think less than $10,000 because there's so many reasons.
They're like the Hondas of your
They are.
Euro community.
Yeah, they are. They are the Hondas of the Euro community, and not in a bad way, or not saying that Hondas are bad, but it's not the low level. It's just user friendly,
Right.
easy to maintain, cheap to maintain,
Ish.
relatively. Relatively, when you're comparing it to, for example, like a E46 or
Right.
E90, it's much cheaper to maintain.
Right.
They're just, I don't know. They have everything you need going
enough.
for them.
Fair enough.
They're great first cars.
Yeah, they are amazing first cars. Like another car we can talk about that we can get from 10 to 12 grand, under 10 to 12 grand.
Please.
Mark 6 GTI.
Really?
Yeah.
The clean one?
A decent one.
Oh.
A decent one you can get for, I mean,
You get one for like
Yo.
you up. Appreciate you, brother. Definitely. No, I'm serious too, man. I appreciate you. Alright, man. Let me know how you like it after you pick it up and you drive it home. Alright, man. Later. Did he touch you inappropriately?
A little bit.
It's okay.
All right. So
So just to give you an example, a buddy of mine, his father just picked up, I believe it's an 11 or it could be a 12, Mark 6 GTI, DSG, with 21,000 miles for a little over 10. So you're talking about a car that is damn near brand new. Then again, yes, obviously there was negotiations and stuff like that, but
Right.
you could pick up one with 70 to 80,000 miles for a little under 9 in most cases. And then
that'd be a good car for my girlfriend.
a DSG Mark 6 GTI, and I mean you can even just
Flash it behind her back.
yeah, I mean she doesn't have to know. Gets an intake and gets a stage 1.
So what's the? No, I was like,
I don't know. It must be broken. Let's go put a bigger turbo in it. to solve
Oh,
the
babe,
problem.
the turbo's broken. Rio confirmed it. He's got a better one, a
got
much
a
better
KO4,
efficient one.
yeah.
Yeah. KO4. What does that mean? Oh, just better efficiency. You get better gas mileage. Out of it.
Yeah, it's much better with KO4. So definitely Mark 6 GTIs.
Okay.
I keep veering back to hatchbacks, and I noticed that. It's not because I favor them, it's because they do everything you need them to do.
I agree.
They handle on the highway, they're nimble,
They're
they fit in pretty much every parking spot.
Dragging to the wind.
I mean, just to give you an idea, I fit a 65-inch TV in the box in my Golf R.
Yep. Told you.
So the Golf R is the same size. Well, it's the Mark 6, so it's the same chassis.
When I
so.
actually ended up getting my TV, I was just like, well, I know it fits in his Mark 6.
Yeah?
So, bro, it didn't work out in the Mark 7 so easily. And the
I
reason
think-
for that is because I had that chassis brace in the back.
That, and I think the hatch in the Mark 7 is just slightly smaller.
Yeah, I agree because literally the only way I was able to do it. I was able to do it, but the drive home was miserable. The seat was all, I literally had to drive a manual like this, steering wheel like
That's
this.
not the point. The point is
It
it
worked.
fit.
It fit.
That's the point.
I was not stranded
Okay.
figuring out how to get this TV
The
home.
best thing is the guy's face at Best Buy when he looks at you and he goes, "This ain't gonna fit." I've seen it not fit in SUVs, buddy.
But trust me.
Trust me.
I know, you
I
got
got
it. No, it's gonna
You know,
work.
so it's like, I mean,
That's gadget, by the way. I don't know if he's in frame, but I think he might
Probably
be.
not.
now he's definitely in frame.
He's definitely in frame.
Oh, now he's very
Oh
close
my
too.
It's group effort here.
Oh my
I
god.
never leave my friends behind.
I wish he did.
Have a good day.
So later, man. Hey, say goodbye.
See you later.
Later, man.
Gadget AV, all your AV needs.
Oh god,
You're
he's
out of the frame.
Gotta
You're out of the
Cut
frame.
that out. Cut that out.
It can be edited out.
Yeah, just.
How many goes on my stock?
I'm telling you, if you want me to advertise your company
told
in all
you.
my videos, give me the 3 series. I will advertise it from every video in 2020. I come up with a video every week. That's 52 videos. With your content.
they're gonna
Give
be
me a
on the merch.
logo,
Here's
everything.
the kick. Here's the kick. I told you you have to ask my wife.
Yes.
Considering how my wife feels about the car, she
I'm
doesn't
putting this in
think
the
it's
video
hers.
because if this works in my favor, I want it on camera. Go ahead.
As my wife says, because you did offer me your number the other day.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I don't know. It's really not my car. It's your car.
Ha! There we go. You can use this as an opportunity.
I'd rather replace the motor first and then sell it.
I'd rather you not.
I know. A lot of people would rather I didn't do a lot of things.
I'd rather you just. I'd
People
rather you
wish
just
I
at
didn't
this
have
point.
a Passat that needed a 6-speed. But it's
I
already...
wish you knew a good place to bring that to get it done.
It's sick because I think I paid for one to be installed.
Oh.
No, but then you allocated the funds towards the other 9 vehicles that you had to get repaired.
First of
so-
all, there's only 7, not 9.
all right, so the other 7 vehicles to get repaired. So those funds are long gone.
Cars are a lifestyle.
They
Oh
are.
my god.
They are a lifestyle. The lifestyle's called
Yeah,
broke.
you do for joy.
I regret that slogan so much.
No, but the cars are a lifestyle. You know the lifestyle? The lifestyle's broke.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
That's what the lifestyle is. Okay? Because
I want that-
we
I
do
want
stuff
that
like
330.
this. I mean, look at those lips.
Look at the car.
Not those lips. those lips. So, can we stop being unprofessional, please?
I know. We can't
You're gonna
have
keep
fun.
commenting and saying we're
Right.
unprofessional.
Jeez. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I know this video is probably just.
I'm
like,
sorry. I don't want to get. Oh,
We're wasting your time. Don't
It's me.
go
It's
buy
me.
a Japanese car. So
Well, can't go there.
I mean, this whole thing is cars that you can buy for under $10,000 to $12,000, and I'm not going to name an American or Japanese vehicle, not because I'm biased towards you. Yeah, I'm biased towards European cars. So
After his first car was a
my first car
Subaru.
was a '95 Impreza L, front wheel drive automatic.
Can't get any worse than that.
Did we speak about this already?
That was the very beginning of the whole
It
conversation.
was. We spoke about this. How many
Yeah.
hours have we been doing this?
Literally, we've been doing the video for 30 minutes.
That's it?
But
How do you do this?
how many pauses were there?
there was a lot of pauses.
It's gonna be a lot of like
It's gonna be wonderful.
chops. Anyway, so Mark 6 GTI was another one that we just discussed.
Right.
Moving on from the Mark 6 GTI. I mean, there's really no.
Reliable,
There's-
fun car.
The thing is, you can buy a lot of very nice performance European cars for under that amount of money. But the problem's not buying the car. The problem is maintaining it, exactly. If you're not a mechanic yourself, or you don't have a place that, I mean, because not everybody's going to be able to come to European Auto. You know, there's people who live.
You should, but if you can't,
There's
if
people
you're-
who live all over the country that watch video.
you should move to New York and then just bring your car there. That makes a lot
It's a
of
good idea.
There you go.
Just
a thought.
change your entire life just so your car can get serviced here.
At least you'll get service. That'd be the number one
It's part of
priority.
the lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle.
We are very unprofessional.
Even if you have to change your
we
life
charge
to
an
another state.
unprofessional fee.
There you go.
So it's maintaining a high performance, or
You try maintaining an
you know,
S4.
it's that's the thing. You can go pick up a beautiful B5 S4 for about $7 or $8 grand. I'm talking about gorgeous. Whatever color you prefer, you can get Imola yellow, Nagaro blue, Imola red, whatever. You know, like the car will be gorgeous.
But
But
when those turbos go,
when the turbos go, when the clutch goes, when the
need a
timing
bumper.
belt service comes up,
you gotta take it out.
when somebody taps your front bumper and it's $1,000, you know, these are things that you have to take into consideration when you're buying a car. Because, yeah, like anybody can go out, most people will get approved for a $25,000 loan and be able to go finance an E90 M3. But then you have throttle actuators that go bad. And you're talking
Plastic gears.
you're talking, you know, thousands of dollars in repairs. If you buy an SM, if you buy, well, they don't come. Well, you can DCT probably. If you were to get like a E60 M5, you could probably pick up an E60 M5 for a little under 20.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Run.
They're super fun.
Run.
The V10s are awesome.
Run.
You could rebuild the throttle actuators yourself.
I ain't worried about the throttle actuators.
What are you worried about? The SMG?
Rod bearing? Yeah, SMG.
And rod bearings.
And rod bearings and SMG.
That's another thing to take into consideration when you're thinking about picking up a high performance vehicle is rod bearings, especially like an E46 or an E90 or an E92 or an E60 or an E61 or no, they didn't come M5. Not here at least. E61. No, not here. So, you know, these are things that you have to take into consideration is the
Right.
maintenance on these cars.
Cause like for instance, like if I had, I always wanted like an E90 M3, like that. I mean, this is going off tangent, but there's a couple problems with that car. One, they make no torque.
Oh, but they sound great.
They sound excellent. Oh, they sound so good. But like a couple of things that definitely go wrong with E90, E92, or E93 M3s is for the fact that you have two major problems. First problem, throttle actuators. They're plastic gears, they break. They get brittle, they break, and your car is a nightmare. The second thing is rod bearings. The bearings themselves are about $250. The job to do them.
It's not really a problem. That's actually considered maintenance. It's not a failure as long as you maintain it. It's a failure when you don't
But it's an
maintain it.
expensive maintenance.
It is an
It is-
expensive maintenance
it's-
option, yes.
yeah.
But it's also like falls into the same category as the B5S4s when it comes to timing belt services.
Yeah.
You're talking, you know, 7 or 8 hours worth of labor, and then you're gonna use OEM parts,
Do it.
so it's gonna be a lot of money. So you know the same thing. It falls under maintenance. I mean,
Well, except for rod bearings, because there's a couple of companies that make better material.
yeah, like UPC for example, they
Right.
they make coated, you know, rod bearings for
So you
BMWs.
shouldn't have that issue.
which is great. But again, if you're tracking the car or driving it, you know, super spiritedly,
Aye.
you're still gonna run through the bearings. But
Okay. All right.
what else can we get for under 12 grand?
Evo. You don't like Japanese
I'm
cars.
sorry, I didn't hear what you said. What was that?
Japanese.
What was that?
Evo.
Who?
Evo 8.
Like E30 M3 Evo?
you can't get that. If you can get that for under 12
No, 'cause I
grand.
was gonna say
I
that's
think he's
not.
talking about the Benz.
Oh, the 190E.
Ooh,
Evo.
the 190E Evo. I'm not gonna lie, that
Or are you
isn't.
talking about the Lancia?
Oh, isn't it Lancia?
Lancia.
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 Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Lancia.
Unfortunately, like I say, they don't talk about. We're not here to talk about Japanese cars or anything else. But it is specifically European cars. I have a trouble dealing with that. But and there's not a problem with it. I mean, there are a lot of old. Yeah, there's nothing Japanese in this shop.
Yeah, there is.
Well,
There's
there's this
actually-
too.
There's a Mark IV Super right
There's a
over
Mark
there.
IV Super right on the other side.
You're gonna have to show them the Mark IV. We can't pop the hood though.
No, we cannot. We're not allowed
Show
to.
you the outside, so you can just keep going in while you're sitting down watching this. Go, is that a Supra? But other
like,
than
yeah.
that, that's all you're gonna get.
That's it.
We're not popping the hood.
We're not popping the hood. We're not showing stuff.
And then the AE86 is still here.
Initial D. It's not the Initial D version, but it's a cool version.
He'll be here.
Junior, making a lot of noise, man. Yeah, a little bit. Alright, man.
You're cramping my style, bro. It's one thing I like about these, that's like car talks and things of that nature. Like it's because of the fact that put people on the spot, kind of really get their knowledge and their point of view on a few things. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, all right, so hey, we got some.
You could pick up a 944.
That was a shot.
It's basically a two-door Volkswagen bus, but it's okay.
Oh my god.
Let's continue. What else can you get?
There's not much for that price.
There isn't. That's what I'm saying. You kind
That's why I like. See, this is what I made it challenging around that price range.
Yeah, it's kind of
Because
limiting
it
at
makes
that
you really
point.
it's limiting.
There's plenty, but they're not all DIY.
Right. Some are nightmares. Like, I don't think 335 isn't a nightmare. If you get a bad 335, it can be a very scary nightmare.
The thing is,
Or
with
if
the,
you don't maintain it yourself.
or if you don't
Oh,
maintain
right,
it, yeah.
right.
I mean,
I'm weird like that. I have to keep on top of my maintenance.
If you pick up a
Speaking of that, I
335,
gotta go to the oil change from soon.
we'll set you right up. You can call the front desk; they'll set you up on an appointment.
Damn! I was like,
So, what did we cover? We got the Mark IV GTI, the Mark IV GLI, E90, E92, MK6 GTIs, E36 M3. I'm sure there's something I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting. Yeah, okay, let's run through BMW real quick, right? So, I mean, none of the
get
5
any of-
Series are really fun, unless you're picking up like an E60, either an M5.
what about
Unless you're
an
putting in as much work as
E32
turbo.
540?
What the hell's an E32?
I see. This is why I don't know.
E34, you mean?
E34.
Okay.
I'm sorry. E34. E34. Yes.
Yeah, not very fun.
In a manual,
Not very fun.
except that traction.
They don't make any power, and they're also very heavy.
Okay, gotcha.
So you kind of. Yeah, but you're putting it in a lighter car. Did you not take it out of that car to put it in a lighter car? Ah.
Yeah,
So-
I did. Felipe did just that.
He took it out of an E30? He took one out of an E32? Yeah? Where'd you find that, man? Connecticut? Is that like the only one that was ever made?
Oh my god.
Oh, you're right. E32 is 7 series.
He's like Silencio.
Oh, he's right.
Yeah.
The older 7 series is an E32. The E31 was the 8 series.
Right.
E32 was a 7 series, and then E34 was the 5 series of that era. And then E36 was a 3 series of the little later era.
There we go.
So you were right about the E32. I'm sorry.
I just got it on the wrong car. I was thinking of the
Huh?
1995,
Huh?
specifically 540. That's what I was thinking about.
No, it's a 7 series. Yeah, there's no E32 540, but there's an E32 740. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really ugly 7 series.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah. The interior sucks. It's got no cup holders either.
I just.
Then again, this isn't either.
I mean, but
No, it
I've
doesn't.
always loved the lines of an E30 though. Like do you think it's worth it to find like an E30 and then do maybe let me see if I get this right, S52 swap, which is the M3 E36
Yes.
Very
power
good.
plant into that?
Yes.
Okay.
That is it's actually what
Yeah,
this car is.
Okay.
And what that's getting in the next
Yeah.
10 years or so.
I thought you was like this year. I might get a review going. Let's do it.
Maybe. I gotta fix my daily first. I don't have a daily. I'm driving a Suburban right now.
A what?
My Suburban.
You mean an extended toric?
Extended Touring.
It's a joke.
That wasn't funny.
That was.
They do it because they care.
So. Yeah, no, I have a Suburban because I needed something reliable.
It was my European auto loaner car. No, it's not really a loaner car, so don't expect it.
Speaking of which, those brakes feel phenomenal.
They're nice, right?
I say I didn't get to ride the better brakes.
Yeah.
I didn't get to drive it.
No, you had it with the check engine light on, the airbag
Yeah.
light on, the tire pressure light on. The
Wait, it doesn't have
brakes
an
all the
airbag
way
light
down.
anymore?
No, I fixed
You
it.
fixed
I
everything?
fixed everything.
Bro,
And I fixed the
what?
exhaust leak too.
You did. I remember
did.
I called you when that happened. Okay.
I was, yeah. I was on the phone with you while I was doing that.
I was like, dang, that's what's up.
Yeah, it's almost like 100% now. Door locks still don't work,
Hey, I mean, you can't have it all.
or cruise control, or the driver's heated seat. It's okay. It's okay. Everything else does. It's got a TV in it.
It's got it does have a TV in the second row.
So when it doesn't run,
I'd be so mad right now.
why they don't fit?
How big is it?
You're about to be so mad?
Damn.
Papi chulo. We should next week's video where we talk about things to
While Junior's still working on his
on
car. You should have did that shit with fucking Jay. When he's putting in his coilovers. That should have been every video. Oh my god.
I'm professional.
It's a shop, it's the environment.
It's a lifestyle. All right.
Alright, so
I guess you can close it out if you want. If you have nothing else in your head.
honestly, I can't think of another car that I would suggest for under $12,000 that I would recommend somebody to buy. I mean, if I didn't like you, I would say buy a B5 S4.
I'll screw you.
But you know, I mean, there's really not much else that you can buy that's pretty much fun right out the box that makes sense.
Gotcha.
It's really it.
Okay.
I would cut it there at those 5 cars.
Cool. All right. Well, that was fun. That was fun, and definitely got some information from. What?
I got one.
Oh wait.
I got
There's
one.
more.
A Mark V R32. They're under 10 grand.
Are they really?
They are under 10 grand.
All-wheel drive hatchback.
But they don't come manual.
That's okay.
That's the only downside. Well,
That's okay.
some people that's an upside.
Because I have a manual GTI.
Yeah. And
So
I have a manual Golf R and a manual E30, but
yeah.
I mean, personally, I would never buy one. But they are technically really fun cars,
And they have a superior VR6.
which is the 3.2 liter,
Mm-hmm.
which is the better version of the. Yeah, well, I guess they do.
2.8.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably suggest the Mark V R32 as number 6.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They're all-wheel drive.
Yeah, Haldex.
Yes, Haldex all-wheel drive. They automatic, DCT or not DCT. What's it?
Just dual clutch. DSG.
DSG. DCT is BMW. Yeah, DSG.
You're like, you're right there.
Shit's on.
Oh God.
I just
It's
put
been a long
I
day.
just put, it is 6 o'clock on a Saturday, and I've been here since 6 o'clock in the morning.
You've been here since 6 this morning?
Well, 6:10, but yes, technically 6.
That's sad.
Customer needed his car. It's part of the life, man. So yeah, Mark V R32. Again, they fall into the same technical categories as the Mark 6 GTI, the Mark 4 GTI. But if you're somebody who doesn't necessarily care about having manual,
Or doesn't know how to drive it.
or doesn't know how to, doesn't want to, lives in a city that's very congested, which is not an excuse, by the way. Not an excuse.
No.
Traffic is not an excuse. So, for whatever reason, if I would say probably, Mark V R32. Besides the fact that, I mean, you have DSG services the same way you would with any other DSG. You have Haldex services the same way you would with any other R or TT or...
I can't even professional. What?
Can you like shut the microphone off like certain points? So like when Junior screams and Felipe puts his 2 cents. Cool. So yeah, I mean, again, I veer back to Volkswagen again, but all things considered, that's a pretty awesome daily driver for under $12,000.
To an extent.
All 34 makes a very nice turbo kit that we've installed in those.
Really?
Yeah, and it makes it very fun. And then
It
T-Roll
breaks.
Sport has a nice DSG tune as well for it.
I'm friends with them over there.
Think your girlfriend is a
I
Mark
mean,
V?
a Mark V R32 is a pretty
It'll
nice
be a
daily
decent
driver
car.
for your girl.
I can't get that for her.
It's
Because
gonna
I
more
will be
fun than
taking
yours.
it.
Yeah,
The sound.
yeah,
That'll get me.
yeah.
Every time. They're like,
You saw the
yeah.
Mark 4 R32 that was here today?
Yes.
Did you hear that car? God.
Nothing
It's
sounds
nothing like
like
a
them.
3.2, man.
Nothing that
I
sounds
mean,
like
the 2.8 sound good too. The 24 valve, not the 12 valve.
them. Yeah. That's a common
Yeah.
thing people say.
Yeah. So the 24 valve is a lot better. I guess that would close this out. That is all. If I think of something, never mind. No, that's what as far as somebody who as a mechanic and as somebody who owns a repair shop, from what I've seen, what breaks, what's reliable, what's not.
Right.
I would say that those 6 cars are probably my go-to if I had 12 grand and said, here, this is what I have to buy a European, for a
good
decent
daily.
daily.
Okay.
For a decent to good daily.
Okay. Decent to good daily, and if I want to have fun with it later.
And you want to have fun with it later, or while you still own it, you can still do modifications to
Right.
it for a fair price.
Okay. There you go. Alright, so that's good information. So, guys, that means that we're gonna close this out. I really hope that you guys did enjoy this. It's a little longer than normal videos, but it's good information from another person's perspective. Gio, Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
And thank you for being on
Thank you.
the first series, or the first episode of the series of JR14 Car Talks. But if you did like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up, and also make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And make sure you watch all of the content. You guys always remember where we're trying to figure out new project cars for the new builds. Like Felipe, bro. Cars are a lifestyle. Take care, guys.